Hi everybody, it's Diane. I am working on these 2 cloth cover journals out of the vintage tablecloths. These are just pieces that I cut from the vintage tablecloths that I bought at a flea market, and I sewed them to, or I appliqued them with zigzag stitch to this nice crisp cream colored fabric. And there's another piece of the tablecloth right there and the border up there. And then I backed it with a vintage sheet, and then I made some fabric pockets with a piece of fabric that I had and some more appliques from the tablecloth, and I added some rickrack up there. And this is what this one looks like. So I was kind of wondering what kind of pages I would be putting inside these journals, and what I found was this kit that I had already printed. I think it's called Cottage Garden from Ephemera's Garden. I've had it printed for quite a while. It's got some beautiful bright poppies, and that's what attracted me to it for this. But I love all the other pages too. And then I found some kind of whimsical florals from my scrapbook papers to put in and coffee dyed them. Scrap paper. And then for book pages, I added some pages from antiques and collectibles books because I thought they'd be fun with that folk art design. I'm also going to be making ephemera pieces with some of the photos from those old books. This one doesn't have a lot of poppies in it. Must be all the poppy pages got put into the other book. But I also found this kit that I had already printed and cut out. I love this. I bought it when Debbie Ann was having one of her sales. And this is, again, is Ephemera's Vintage Garden. And this one is called Ephemera's Heart Song. And it's got these little paper dolls, which are so cute, and flowers and all kinds of fun things. So I thought these would be fun to put in these journals too. I started, these are some of the pages I pulled that I'm going to make ephemera with some of these images. I started putting together some pockets to put on the front covers of these journals. The front, this is the front cover, but the front of the signature. So I already started sewing a pansy flower seed kit picture to some vellum, and I decided I should make a video because I need to have a video for tomorrow morning. Oh, that's where I want my pocket to be. See, I stopped what I was doing right in the middle and then forgot what I was doing. So this one happens to be an iridescent type of vellum. The other one is just regular vellum. So I'll have a tag to stick in there. And I'm going to sew this to this, and there'll be a pocket here. But I want some sort of trim on here. I got out a lot of rickracks because I thought rickracks would be fun on this journal. And some eyelets. I got some eyelets out too. Well, that's just about right. That must have been meant to be. The first two journals with the embroidered covers are done. I just haven't had a chance to photograph them and get them listed. So you can be watching for them. Today, I am so tired. Last night there was a huge thunderstorm. I was actually asleep, and the thunderstorm woke me up. It was very close to my house because that the flashes were constant and the thunder was so loud and very close to the lightning flashes. And one of them was just so loud that it made me yell. I was still in bed trying to sleep and it just made me yell. So I couldn't sleep, so I got up and I started working on these books. I was cutting my pages while the thunderstorm raged on. So I'm pretty tired today. I got about 4 hours of sleep. And I went to my friend's house for lunch. And really intended to do some housework, but I am just so tired. I did a little vacuuming. I've got to study my Bible lesson that I'm going to be teaching for Sunday, but I fall asleep if I sit down and try to read. And I don't want to sleep now because I want to sleep at bedtime. So I'm doing a little work on these, and then I'll have some dinner and settle down for the night and hopefully go to bed early. So I just don't feel like photographing and listing those journals. For some reason, I just don't have the energy. That looks pretty, doesn't it? So I'll have to figure out what's going to go inside these pockets. But I just felt like I wanted to get a little something accomplished on these today. This one is more subtle because it doesn't have that iridescence, but I really like the way it looks. This one is a TLC Creates Vintage digital. I just went through all my digitals that were already printed to see if I had things that would go in this journal. This one is from Artsology. Yeah, this one's from Artsology, from a recent design team project that was left over. Because I printed way more than I needed. This one might be a freebie from TLC Creates Vintage. I'm not sure if it was from a kit or a freebie. I'm thinking it's a freebie because I was on her design team. But she has a lot of cute images like that. Put some trim on this one. The covers have green and orange and some yellow. That one's this pink in this, and this is kind of a pinky orange. So maybe I'll go with that. How quickly I can cover up my tools and lose them. The green rickrack that I put on the other one is vintage. This one is not. So the thunderstorm cooled things off anyway, because it was in the 90s yesterday, but today it's much, much cooler and very pleasant, breezy. It was raining when I drove to my friend's house. It was raining. I had never been to her house, and it's about a half hour away on a country road, but I found it. I was proud of myself. I say that because I'm not an adventurous driver, to say the least. I don't go places if I don't know where I'm going. My husband did all the driving. For now, I just don't go places. Unless I go with somebody. I can go to my craft stores. Thank goodness I know how to do that by myself. And I love doing it. I haven't been in a while. That looks so pretty. I like that. And then there'll be something in there, so I have to make sure it looks pretty because you're going to be able to see it. So I have to choose something nice to go in there. I really like the way that looks. Another thing I pulled out to use in these books is just some Tsunami Rose ephemera. So I'm going to take a look at these and try to come up with one of those collage together pockets for the backs, using a combination of this. Look at all this ephemera stuff that I've had printed for ages, and these. I like the green in that with my folk art covers. Try to incorporate as many of the greens and oranges as I can. And there's yellow in the covers too. That's a pretty big piece. That could be tucked in somewhere. These are napkin rings, very elaborate ones. I love this duck. I'm going to have to use this hand-blown aquamarine glass duck somewhere because it is so cute, and I like the hat too. Maybe I'll use that crystal container. And look at this. This is a drawing, but it's a pen wipe. A doll pen wiper. And this was a drawing from Godey's Ladies book. It's nice. Some brownie collectibles. And these little Kate Greenaway salt and pepper shakers. They're adorable. I've got fabric scissors and thread cut scissors and large and small paper scissors over here. Always trying to find the right one. So I had a good visit with my friend today. She wants to start an Etsy store, so she wanted me to help her with that. So when I got there and we got on her computer after we ate lunch, she already has her store set up. She thought she messed everything up, but she didn't. She had a store. It just doesn't have anything in it yet. And it is something that we can collaborate on. She's not making journals, but my journals can be incorporated with what she's doing, so we could have a collaboration to introduce her to Etsy and YouTube. She's never done a YouTube video. So I'm excited to be able to help her out with this. I'm not going to tell you what she's doing. I'll just wait till she's ready to launch it. She's one of the friends I went to Alaska with. Oh, I'd have to cut part of his tail off. This is the widest page in the book, though, so it's not going to fit on any page better than this. See what I have in my heart song. Yes, that's what I need. Something bright and colorful and small. And I also think that I would glue this to cardstock, both of them. They're both just paper. So I'm not going to do that on camera because I would have to fussy cut around them again after I glue them to cardstock. But you can see what I'm going for here. This will all be combined together and it will become a tuck spot. This flower is already on cardstock. Let's try this one. This cut glass perfume bottle. And again, I would have to glue it to some cardstock. nice to be able to use some of the digital things that I've purchased and printed and just had sitting there for so long. And I think I figured out the solution to my tripod wanting to tip down. So that's good. This might be good enough, just the two of them. I think so, because that shape is just so beautiful. That bottle is beautiful. Maybe I'll add that. Okay, so those are the pieces I'm going to use as a collage tuck spot. I'm going to set them aside. And I guess I can't sew some lace to the edges of these because that's pretty close to the edge and I can't sew that down. But I can do it to the back. I guess I'll sew some lace to the back edges. Well, let me look at my eyelets that I got out. I'll probably say this in more than one video if I make more videos in the construction of these journals. I don't know if I will because, you know, I did a lot of videos for the first two fabric covered ones, so I don't know if you want to watch more videos of more fabric covered journals, but I will say it in this video, and that is I am reserving one of these because it's a special reason, and that is one of my friends on YouTube here, or she's one of my customers, but she's my friend too. Her mother used to put this very tablecloth on their table when she was young, and so she would like one of these journals. So since it's a childhood memory and she has sent me things, I figured I could do that for her. And the other one, I don't know if I'm going to keep it, because I said I might keep it because I just love that tablecloth. Or a lot of times I say I'm going to keep one for myself and then I end up selling it when it's done. So we'll see what happens with that one. I love this pale yellow eyelet. I was hoarding it because it's such a pretty soft color. To cover up that edge. I don't have to cover up that edge, but I have this pretty yellow velvet ribbon, so why not? Tomorrow I might be able to get those other journals listed. I don't have to work in the morning, and I do have to go to a viewing in the afternoon. but maybe I'll be able to get those journals listed and put a video up. And that will have the collage on the back. Alright, I'm going to see if I can find some more velvet ribbon without disturbing the tripod. It's in a drawer right there by my tripod. Okay, I found some. I wanted some wide ribbon whose color went with the color scheme, and I found it. Because this is a wider eyelet that I want to cover up. Isn't that pretty? So let's use this one. These are vintage velvet ribbons that my friend sent me. And yes, I've been hoarding them. But I did use some in my very own chocolate themed journal, so I got to keep some, so I can go ahead and use them in other journals. I'm actually really enjoying using up some of the things that I've been hoarding. I highly recommend it. And now that I've been destashing, I kind of feel more organized. I'm not done yet, but as far as my book pages go, I am so much better organized with them, so that I was able to go right to my collectible, antiques and collectible pages when I wanted to for this. So the next thing I want to list after I get the journals listed is book pages. I've got sets of collectible and antique book pages, sewing and fashion, children's books, maps, arts and crafts. I mean art, like classical art and crafts. They're going into one section. So I've got them all compiled and in envelopes and ready. All I have to do is make videos and take pictures and get them listed. So you can look forward to that if you're looking for an assortment of book pages that you can use in your journals. Alright, so I just have to do the collage, tuck spots on the back, and find things to put in these pockets on the fronts, but that's a good start. Yay, we got a good start. Some of these pages are a little long. I'll have to trim them. So I think these are going to be really fun journals. So thanks for watching this video, and I will be back again as soon as I can. See you soon. Bye-bye.